Here's a truth most people aren't ready to hear. Age doesn't make a man old, losing his inner fire does. Some men grow older and become more powerful, more attractive, more magnetic. Others slowly fade into the background. The difference isn't time, it's energy. Most people think aging is about wrinkles, gray hair, or body shape. But that's not what makes a man look old. A man looks old when his energy drops, when his curiosity dies, when his desire for life disappears. You can see it in his eyes, in his posture, in the way he carries himself. Before anyone notices his age, they feel his absence. The truth is, youth doesn't leave the body first, it leaves the spirit. It leaves the way a man thinks, moves, and experiences life. And once that inner spark fades, everything else follows. But there are men who break this pattern. As they age, they don't shrink, they sharpen. They don't chase attention. They don't try to prove themselves, yet people are naturally drawn to them. They carry calm, control, and a quiet confidence that feels real. The first thing that sets these men apart is their hunger for life. They don't become bored with living. They don't fall into lifeless routines. They stay curious. They stay engaged. They stay open to new experiences. When a man loses curiosity, his mind retires, and soon after, his body follows. His posture drops, his energy fades, and his presence becomes dull. But when a man stays interested in life, there's a spark in his eyes. And that spark is attractive at any age. The second habit is letting go of emotional weight. Many men carry their past everywhere they go: old arguments, regrets, disappointments. This emotional burden creates tension in the body. You can see it in a tight face, a guarded tone, a restless presence. When a man is holding onto the past, he can't relax, and when he can't relax, his energy becomes blocked. But the men who let go feel lighter. Their presence becomes easy, open, and calm. That lightness is what makes them feel young. The third habit is calmness. Most people think attraction comes from being loud, funny, or overly expressive. But real power comes from calm. A calm man doesn't rush, doesn't overreact, doesn't try too hard. He stays steady. And that steadiness creates a natural pull. Calm doesn't mean weak, it means controlled. When a man is in control of himself, his body relaxes, his mind clears, and people feel safe around him. That sense of safety mixed with strength is deeply attractive. Another key habit is protecting energy. Most men look tired not because of age, but because they are constantly drained. Too much noise, too many distractions, too many unnecessary reactions. Men who age well are selective. They don't give their attention to everything. They set boundaries. They avoid pointless conflict. They understand that energy is their most valuable resource, because when your energy is preserved, your presence becomes powerful. Then there's the way a man moves. Movement reveals everything about his internal state. When a man is disconnected from himself, his movements are rushed, restless, and unsure. But when he is aware, his movements are controlled and intentional. He walks with direction, he sits with presence, he gestures with purpose. This kind of movement shows confidence without saying a word. Another major shift happens when a man stops chasing youth. The moment a man tries too hard to look young, he reveals fear, a fear of time, fear of losing relevance. And fear always disrupts energy. But when a man accepts his age and focuses on his vitality instead, something powerful happens. He becomes grounded. He stops comparing himself to others. He stops competing, and that inner stability makes him stand out. Presence is another defining trait. A man who is truly present doesn't need to impress. He doesn't overtalk or over-explain. He simply exists fully in the moment. When he speaks, people listen. When he listens, people feel heard. His attention feels real, not distracted, and that kind of presence is rare, which makes it valuable. Then comes freedom from approval. Many men spend their lives adjusting themselves to be liked. They filter their words, soften their personality, and constantly seek validation. But this creates tension, it drains energy. The moment a man stops needing approval, he becomes free. His body relaxes, his voice deepens, his actions become more natural. He's no longer performing, he's just being. And that authenticity carries a quiet power. Another powerful trait is a visible desire for life, not excitement or hype, but genuine engagement. A man who is alive inside responds to the world. He notices details, enjoys moments, and connects without forcing anything. That energy is contagious. People are drawn to it because it feels real. And finally, everything comes down to discipline. Not harsh discipline, not punishment, but quiet, consistent self-control. A disciplined man manages his habits, his energy, and his focus. He does what needs to be done, even when he doesn't feel like it. He creates structure in his life, and that structure reduces chaos. When there's less chaos, there's less stress. And when there's less stress, the body stays relaxed, the mind stays clear, and the energy stays strong. In the end, youth is not something you chase. It's something you build through how you live. When you stay curious, when you let go of what weighs you down, when you remain calm, present, and disciplined, age becomes just a number. So ask yourself one simple question. Are you just existing, or are you truly alive?